We're
This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success, enterprisebanking.com.
Ms. Dean Mazzarella, Mayor. And yes, we're live this afternoon on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Hard to believe we went from snow, we went from no snow in, well, up until mid-January, and then snow, and then it melted and got warm, and then this whole freeze and thaw. And just 2 days ago, we had absolutely no snow around, and then about 4 inches of snow yesterday. And this afternoon, most of it gone. So spring is around the corner, spring ahead. If you didn't mess with your clocks last fall, well, just leave your clocks alone because they'll be just fine as we spring forward to spring, right? Spring ahead. Isn't that what it is? Fall back, spring ahead. 978-534-1626, that's the phone number. And it's a very important day because we're going to be heading out for the art report. And hang in there tonight. We've got a great guest. And yeah, we're going to be talking about luge. Do you ever see the luge? Mr. Art?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Especially the single ones. You know, their feet are hanging over the front of that thing, and they're flying.
That is amazing. We're going to find out. We'll find out tonight. How does somebody become interested in this sport?
No kidding.
Huh?
Hey, last week I thought of you.
What happened? You won something?
Well, no, we were heading home, and I decided to go by the lakefront on Tuesday. And lo and behold, I said, oh, my God, look right left. An eagle.
Come on.
I looked again, and there was another one behind it.
Come on.
And the one in the front seemed much bigger than the second one. And they landed right down in the little corner where the dog grooming business is. Used to be a bar there.
Right.
But on the ice and on the fringe, there was a little water. They were fishing.
Wow.
That's what they were doing. But I pulled over and stopped, and I had a pair of binoculars, and I watched them for quite a while.
Oh, they're
just sight.
They can pick a fish, pick the thing up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they'll pick you up.
Beautiful. And when he took off, just as we got there, as we turned onto the waterfront, it took off. I said, my God, look, an eagle. And the wingspan was enormous.
Yeah. Oh,
and then all of a sudden another one. I think they left from the beach area that's over there.
Wow. That was a good sighting.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen eagles. I mean, I saw them up here by the ice cream stand looking for rodents. So they got the North Leominster has become a buffet for the birds.
We'll have to put it up on the bridge. We'll have to put it up on the sign on the bridge.
Yes. And another thing, we've noticed, we've been out about 4 times this week, and each time, where did all the traffic go? And then we put 2 and 2 together, the fact that we're coming down 13 like going to Molars, and the minute they get down by Baker, or prior to Baker, just at the first set of lights, they start spreading out into the 3 lanes, and that is stopping all the congestion. Mm-hmm. And by stopping the congestion, it's emptying the street. We come off Route 2 this morning, around 12:15 this afternoon. Not one car.
Yep. You wait and
it's
see.
Wonderful.
Once the lights are in, they're timed, you'll see it moving. It's going to move. A lot more cars, safer. So safety first, and then moving cars.
It's really doing well.
You just got to have patience. They're almost done. Yeah.
That's important.
National Grid's coming back. They'll be out of their part. They're going to be done restringing the polls by somewhere around April 1st, and we go from there.
It's going to be it's a joy to go through there now. You know, whoever planned it, I'm sure you had a lot to do with it in your team. They did it correctly because, like I said, both ways.
Yep.
I came off Route 2, got up, right up and over.
Yep.
It's a good thing. Having said that, I think that's about it for tonight.
Let me check and see if Luke Connery. Luke says.
Well, the last time I saw him,
Yeah.
they had to put up yellow tape around the pastry department at the Moors.
Oh no.
It was causing shortages. Yes.
He
yes,
said,
and that drove the price up.
He said, once again, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Well, that takes a lot of space, though. Just for him to move in the chair.
Oh, you guys are terrible, 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 terrible.
I know. And, oh, by the way, my golf partners, I'd like to thank the owner-operator of the building you're in right now. I will not give you his name. I think you know who I'm talking about.
For what?
He told me last week I have a little surprise. Your picture's going to be on the art report. Well, I'd like to thank him because the razzing hasn't stopped from the golf crew. They have already started. One of them in Fitchburg. He turned it on, called me up immediately after the show last week and made fun of my hat.
It's all right.
Yeah, he made fun of my hat. And it's quickly spreading. I'm hearing it from all corners of the globe.
You look like somebody from some TV show. Bradley, what TV show do you think? I don't know. He looks like somebody. I don't know who, though. With the hat. With the hat
I don't
on.
know. I've never been in the back of a cruiser, so it has nothing to do with that.
All right.
You know. Other than that, if you see somebody, hey, I got a little beef here that I. If you're down to Sears at Demola's and you're waiting in your car for someone that's in there shopping, and you see an elderly person either struggling with a cart or walking, etc., help them out. I've done it twice now, and the benefit of feeling good. We were down at Tuesday, and this lady, she could not barely walk, and she was trying to move a push cart to use that as a balance. So I got out of the car and I went over and I said, "Could I give you a hand?" And I said, "How about if you stay here and hold on to the cart, and I'll go in and get you one of those electric three-wheelers and bring it out to you." You thought she won the lottery, and that's what I did. And I brought it to her, backed it up. She got on it, and she blessed me, thanked me, blessed. But you got to help people. I think you would get more satisfaction out of that than winning money.
Well, you know what?
And I'm not blowing my horn. I just think it's a good idea.
We have an aging population. They want to be independent. They want to stay home as long as they can. They want to be independent as long as they can. And so you just got to help. You're right. You got to help them out. Keep them as independent as you possibly can.
Against the cars that are parked.
Well, just don't forget your buddy Luke Connery, okay? Because he's.
Well, I mean, he takes up 2 lanes walking.
He said art, Bartlett, and golf are an oxymoron.
He wishes he had my swing.
This is getting serious. All right,
he has the clubs outward.
I will talk to you soon.
Behave.
All right. That was Art from the Art Report, and dueling jabs here at Inside Leominster with Art and Luke. I challenge him, Carl, to a game of golf, but I don't play, so maybe bowling. I can get away with that. All right, 978-534-1626. And out back in the control room is Keith and Bradley today, and not sure where Ronnie is. Where's Ronnie? Is he modeling? He is? Doing what?
He's doing photography, ace photography.
Really? Yes. He's doing photography work. Good for him. All right, well, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to be talking the luge and Olympics, and you wait. You're going to learn a lot, because I have a lot of questions. Be right back here at Inside Leominster. Yeah, all right, show us where it is. You did that? Wow, nice job. You did an awesome job.
I know I did a really awesome job.
It looks three-dimensional. What's it called?
It's
Oil, pastel, and cardboard. That's what that is, cardboard?
Yes.
How did you get the ice to come out like that?
We used oil pastels and we used cardboard, and we glued the pieces of the paper that we wanted where we want them to be, and then after it dries, the next day we were painting it black, and then the next day we painted 3 layers, and then after that we used the oil pastels, and now they turned out like this, and it looks really good.
It looks really good.
Because of my teacher,
Who's your teacher?
Because of my art teacher, Miss Serafini.
She's really good, Miss Serafini.
Oh yeah.
She showed you how to do that, and you did a great job. And what grade are you in?
3rd.
3rd, imagine that, 3rd grade. Pretty good. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Where'd Michelle go?
Thank you.
We got another piece of
Orange tickets.
Look for the orange. All right, let's go. Here we are. What's your name? You can hold it if you want.
My name's Helena.
And what grade are you in and what school?
I'm in 3rd grade and I'm in Fallbrook Elementary.
Fallbrook School. Now, where's your work? Wow, look at that, Bradley, huh? That's awesome. Is that a polar bear? Well, you had to get the right proportions.
So first I just sketched the body of the polar bear.
Yeah.
And then I used a little plate to make the face. And then I shaded in the eyes with some pencil, and then I used some paper to shade it in.
To shade it in? Well, you did a beautiful job. It looks real, huh? Doesn't that polar bear look real? Well, what grade you said? 3rd?
I'm in 3rd.
3rd. And we're back here at Inside Leominster. Thank you. 978-534-1626. And we had a wonderful art show for kids last Thursday night. And Bradley was kind enough to show up, and we went around and talked to all the students who were willing to chat with us, but they are sharp. They have great vocabularies. They're very engaging. They have good social skills, and they're great artists. And you'll see more of it. We'll show more of it each show. So if you know somebody that was there and spoke with us, right, Kyle? We'll be showing it. Anyway, our guest right now is Gordy Sheer. He's a 1998 Winter Games Silver Medalist Luge Doubles, and he competed in 3 Winter Olympics as a luger, partnering with Chris Thorpe, and the two improved each time, placing 12th at the 1992 Albertville Games, 5th at the 1994 Lillehammer Games, and winning a silver medal in, is it Nagano, right?
Nagano, yeah.
Nagano. In 1998, the silver medal was the first Olympic medal ever to be won by a U.S. luger. Sheer and Thorne also won 2 silver medals at the 1995 and 1996 World Championships and won the Season World Cup in 1997. Sheer studied communications at Ohio State and now serves as the marketing director for the United States Luge Association. He began his career after he saw the U.S. Luge van while on a family vacation and copied down the telephone number, and the rest is history. Well, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Dean. I appreciate it.
And my first question was to Gordy. I was like, "Well, when did you start this whole thing?" And he said 12.
Yeah. We actually recruit kids to start the sport now at age 9. It's really important that when you get a kid and their bodies learn so quickly, their bodies and their brains are like sponges when they're, between age 9 and 14.
And they fear nothing.
And they fear nothing, exactly. So we want to get them on the sled as soon as we can so that they can get all of that experience and turn all of that information into, stuff that sticks.
Wow, that's amazing. And so you saw this van, and it had I guess we would call it the wrap.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't. It was just
probably
painting on the
stickers or
side.
paint.
Stickers,
Yeah.
handmade, cut out of thick vinyl, and somebody glued
Right.
them on. And that piqued your interest.
Yeah, well, I've always been an Olympics fan since I was age 4. I remember seeing the games and just, getting this close to the television. So, yeah, and the 84 games in Sarajevo had just finished, and I was, 11 or 12, whatever I was.
That was big, huh? The
Yeah.
84 games?
Yeah.
That's memorable.
Yeah.
For a host of reasons.
Definitely. So, so yeah, so I copied down the telephone number after this van drove by, and 2 weeks later I was on the ice trying it and fell in love.
That's amazing. Now, again, you know, you fear nothing when you're young and everything, but let's face it, you're moving at some serious speeds.
Yeah. Well, the speeds on a sled will potentially reach north of 90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour.
Yeah. So, you know, it's all about knowing, well, the sleds are very drivable, first of all. People need to understand that, you know, the best luge athletes make it look like they're doing nothing. But if you think about it, you're really trying to keep the sled within an inch or two of this imaginary perfect line that exists. And you're doing that by steering with your shoulders and your feet.
Because it's got walls. And
Yeah, oh yeah, banked walls.
You know where that line is.
Yeah, you know where you need to be.
Right.
And so you're in every corner you're making just tons of calculations, fine adjustments to keep the sled on that line.
So concentration.
Concentration, relaxation is important. The sleds don't really have a suspension system, so that you have to be relaxed on the sled, but also hold aerodynamic position.
Right.
And the natural urge on the sled is to pick your head up like this. But, you know, if you think about, you know, using aerodynamic principles, you put your head up, you're slowing yourself down.
Right.
So it's, you know, it takes a little bit of...
So you stretch your eyeballs.
You
That's
lean
a
back
technique
and
too.
have... Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot going on. So
yeah.
It's not for everybody. I mean, obviously you had a desire to do this, but you had to have some talent. So you could have the desire to do it and sort of, you know, get up there and do it as an amateur or do it for fun. But then this turned into serious business.
Well, at that age, there is no middle ground. You know, you're in it, and you're in it to win it. You know, you start off and you want to make progress to the next level of the team. So, you know, you start off and you want to make the junior B team. You know, then you want to make the junior national team, and then you want to make the national team.
Do you have to be a certain
age
age to meet each of the criteria, each of the levels? Or is it just based on performance?
It's based on age, yeah. I mean, there are age groups. The good kids are racing up a category sometimes, just like you see in any other sport, you know, where you got a JV kid playing varsity basketball. Same kind of idea.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So you were already on a sled by 12 years old.
Yeah, and what we do now is, instead of waiting for kids to see the van driving by, we actually go around the country with wheeled luge sleds and look for kids. And we've been in this area many times, and we had a kid from over in Medway who competed in the 2022 games, a kid named Zach DiGregorio. So, you know, we've had Olympians from this area.
Right. And that's from kind of moving around.
Yeah.
And I guess if you see it, right, just like anything else, if you see it and somebody gets real excited about it, then it's hands-on rather than I watched it on TV and I saw it and I might be interested. Where do I go to find out more about this?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, the nice thing is, in addition to that slider search program that I mentioned, you know, we've got our Luge Challenge program where we're in the area this weekend.
Yeah, Mount Wachusett.
Yeah, we'll be at Wachusett, and that's a really fun program because it's anyone age 9 and up can come out and try it, and it's free, and we hold races in 4 categories. We open sliding from 10 till like 1:45 to 2, and then at 2 o'clock we hold a race for men, women, boys, and girls. And we give out prizes.
Wow.
And it's really fun. And the other neat thing is that we do keep an eye out for any talented kids, you know,
you
sort
know
of
what you're
in
looking
that.
for.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, that's you know, Scott Young, professional hockey player, when I talked to him in the past, you know, there was something about swimmers, not to profile anybody, but there are certain characteristics of one's, right, a swimmer, or I was never going to be a professional basketball player. You know, those kinds of things, right? That you're looking for, that talent.
Yeah.
And you know what you're, almost like scouting, right?
Well, that's exactly what we're doing.
You know what you're looking for.
We know we're looking for it, and it's funny because I could get any one of these recruiting events. You know, I could just pull someone off the street and say, sit here with me for 5 minutes, and you tell me which kid has got it and which kid doesn't.
Yeah.
And the person who knows nothing about luge within those 5 minutes could probably say, yeah, I think that kid's got something there.
And where does a kid from Medway go to practice?
He did the same thing I did, which is basically spend a lot of time in Lake Placid.
So he moved up into that area? Or?
Yeah, it starts out when you're super young. It's like camps. You go up for a month, and then you come back home for a couple weeks, and you go back up for another month, and then eventually, once you're on the junior national team, it's
it becomes serious.
Yeah, it's serious, exactly, and it's taking your high school with you.
Wow, tutoring and everything for some of these kids, right?
Yeah.
978-534-1626. If you're just joining us, Gordy Sheer is with us, and we're talking some serious business here. And it is big business. I mean, let's face it, not many people get to compete for the Olympics, even to qualify. Few get to compete, and few win.
Yeah.
And you did them all.
If you think about, use a car race as an example, say you got 31 cars in the Indy 500. Just getting to the Indy 500 is an accomplishment. But yeah, it's a lot of things have to go right on so many different levels to stand on the podium at an Olympic Games. It's, everything's got to be firing in the right direction.
They just had the American Country Music Awards, and a local kid, musician, was part of a band that, toured the country. And as a producer, one of his songs was nominated for Best Single and Best Singer.
It's amazing.
And just to be nominated.
That's incredible.
I'm sure he would have loved to have won. I'm sure the whole team would. But back home, we're like, hey, just the fact that you got, and hopefully we can get Paul DiGiovanni on here someday when he's back local, but just to be nominated, just to get on the sled. But I'm sure for you, it's about winning. This is competition. Everyone back at your family's like, hey, just to get there is like, you've got to beat a lot of people.
I think it's a lot of realistic management of expectations and goal setting and going step by step. And, that's really important.
Do we have any video? Did you bring any video with you?
I did not bring any.
Let's see it on YouTube. He's got to be out there. See
I'm from the 90s. There's no
film on
footage
you?
of me.
All right, maybe we can find this kid. How about this kid, Di Gregorio?
Zach Di Gregorio.
Zach Di Gregorio competed in 2022. Let's see if we have any questions here or anything. Quite a few people watching. People are interested. Quite a few people interested in this subject.
Yeah,
It was always one of my favorite, bobsledding.
Yeah.
It was all, I don't know what it was, but I guess I would have been one of those kids if I was 12 or 13 to say, yeah, let me on that.
Well,
there are other things that interest me, but that was probably my gig.
It's the speed, I mean, I think it's just the sort of raw, very visceral, it's you, a mountain, and a sled, and, go as fast as you can. It's very pure.
But 90 miles, it's like ski jumping. It doesn't look humanly possible. It looks like your friends were mad at you, told you let's go skiing, and then stuck you, and then pushed you off a cliff.
No,
I'm just saying that's what it looks like.
I don't think anyone disliked me. I mean, I'm sure people dislike me, but no, it's very progressive. So like you start at the lowest point on the track, and then you slowly build your way
Confidence
up.
And skill.
And the people who don't have it don't make it up the hill to the top.
Right. They just say, yeah, it was fun. It was a fun afternoon.
Exactly. This is not for me.
Go get a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly. Or they are like, yeah, this is just, you can beat yourself senseless, and everybody does learning how to slide, but at some point, it just becomes too much for a kid, and they pack it in.
Now, when's it turn into work? I mean, it's now you reach a certain level, probably your sights are on the Olympics. You've got coaches and people that are working with you, and grooming you and coaching you, and expert after expert, other team members. This is all going on, and now it turns serious.
Yeah, I think usually around 17 or 18 years old is when you kind of start to see the way forward. You're always, there has to be a certain level of professionalism, even at age, from age 12 on. But,
a dedication.
I think that, your body starts to really respond more to physical training, and you start to see progress, and it starts to make sense a little bit more to you as you get into that, 17, 18-year-old range.
So tell us, when it gets serious, 17 years old, still going to school, what's your day like?
Well, it depends what time of year. The luge season kind of runs now from late September until typically, end of March. And that is, the in-season is very much driven by track time.
Right.
So, you build your day around when you're going to be on the ice, how many sessions a day, 1 session, 2 sessions, and then everything else kind of builds around that.
Do you eat differently?
When I was training, luge is a momentum sport, and I'm not a naturally heavy person.
Right.
So I was trying like crazy to gain weight.
Right.
I probably
Weight
weighed
is
about,
your friend.
Yeah, weight's your friend. To a point.
Right.
You got to be able to move it at the start.
So
you have
there's
to
a
have that.
certain height, weight kind of thing that you try to achieve.
Yeah, in doubles, you've got one guy who's built more like me, and then another guy who's usually about
Heavy.
6'1",
Yeah.
6'2", 200, 220, somewhere in that range. Yeah. And but a singles luge athlete is usually about same 200 to 210, 220, somewhere in that range. But yeah, so for me, it was all about just maxing out calories. And then in the off season, it's all about trying to build up that strength and have that speed and explosive power and everything at the start, because the start's the only place you can accelerate. Every place else, you're really just trying not to lose time.
But there's got to be a certain amount of practicing in your mind, or meditation, or focusing.
That's a great
playing over in your mind. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is how I'm going to mount it. This is what is right. I'm going to stay on these lines. I'm going to.
Yep.
If you throw something, if you never played basketball, all right, let's do this real amateur.
Yep.
And you're sitting in your office, and the wastebasket is
right
over there. You've got to focus. When you throw, now you might just throw it. Chances are you could have some luck. But if you stop for a minute and focus, you have a better chance.
Absolutely.
In your mind, how far, how much strength do I put it? Like any other sport, how fast do I have to throw it? You play it through in your mind. Does that go on for you?
Well, luge is all about pre-visualization, because if you think about it, on a World Cup level or an Olympic level, you go to a race, you've got 7 runs before you're competing, and that's it.
It's over.
Yeah, those are your training runs. You got those 7 runs, and then you got your race. So it's all about having a plan and pre-visualizing that plan. So to the point where, and this is a great question.
No, I'm fascinated by this.
You walk into the start house at a luge race, and all the athletes are there, and you see them with their eyes shut, and you can actually see them going through the motions of taking a run.
So I was pretty close.
Yeah, you weren't close. You were exactly on.
And that's what they're doing.
Dead on.
And the whole thing is just playing through.
Yeah.
But they don't even know anybody else is around.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you're in such a state of focus that, it really feels like you're in it, because it's just a really valuable way to maximize your time. Because, like I said, you get those 6 runs. It's a couple minutes total combined on the track.
It's over.
So you got to have that plan, and you got to know exactly what to expect. And experience also really helps, because you can understand what to do when the plan goes slightly awry.
Right.
So you know that, okay, if I'm too high in the exit of curve 12, I'm going to drive down a little harder, and then when I come back, I'm going to have to counter steer with my left shoulder. So you've got, you've covered every scenario. You've got the plan.
You're planning, focusing, thinking forward.
Yep.
How am I going to correct this? So there's a million things to go on. This is multitasking at 90 miles an hour.
It's a puzzle, and you're basically putting all of those pieces of the puzzle together so that it works, and you're making gravity work for you instead of working against gravity.
I think Tom Brady is a perfect example of somebody who
Definitely.
conditions himself. He goes through this. He's calm. He doesn't react. He's famous for taking the extra few seconds to throw the ball, in that extra few seconds. When everyone else panics and, I got to do something with the ball, I got to do something. He just holds on, right? Just holds on for a couple extra seconds, and he's had good luck with that. But
it's not luck.
right. No, but I'm just saying. That
I know what you mean.
He's been able to focus and be patient, right?
Yeah.
And not panic. And like you said, if you panic and you miscalculate on the first curve,
right,
and you drive yourself into a panic, you're probably going to end up tumbling down the hill.
Yeah, and like I said, it's having the finesse and the coordination and the kinetic awareness to know what is happening on the sled, and just feeling it. The Austrians call it driving with your butt.
Right. Well, I think that sums it up. 978-534-1626. And you're watching Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, and Gordy Sheer is with us. And we started right from the beginning. How did this all happen? What's it like? And then it's got to be pressure. I mean, if you're not good at handling pressure, you could be the best athlete or the best at anything, the best attorney, the best surgeon, but if you can't handle the pressure the day of and you get there, that stress has got to be turned into good stress.
Yeah, you know.
Because it can go seriously wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really about just, for me at least, it was always about just focusing on the task, you know, and following the routine and executing the plan. And the plan and the routine are always what kept me from the nerves.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's different, I guess.
Right.
But, you know, if I just followed, do this, follow the plan, it's going to be fine.
Caller, welcome to the show.
Well, good afternoon, Gordy. It's good to see you on the screen. A few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I went up to the mountain when they were doing this, and the kids were having a ball. It was such a good time. All the kids were having such a good time. And my friend's son, as a matter of fact, which I didn't think he'd enjoy at all, enjoyed it and actually went to camp up in Lake Placid.
Wow.
Great.
I think twice he went. I'm not quite sure. But I didn't think he was into it at all, and he had some of that talent that you're talking about. But I'm wishing you a great time, Gordy, this weekend. And all the kids, if you're out, go, you'll have a blast.
Oh, there you go.
Well, thank you so much.
She should be your marketing assistant. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. So now, and I got to kind of jump fast forward. Now, let me just stay where I was going.
Okay.
And then we'll end up with where you are now.
Okay.
So you win the Olympics.
Yeah.
That can't just be a normal experience. You know, they put a medallion on you and you kind of go home and, you know, and have a good night's sleep.
Well, it was definitely an interesting season leading up to the games in '98. So the previous year, Chris and I had won the World Cup title, and you know we were just the first half of that season we were just on fire. We were winning left and right, and then we started to slide off a little bit in the second half. But you know we were good enough
Attributed to what?
Well, we couldn't really figure it out, and that slide continued into the Olympic season. You know, we finished third place in our first race, and then went from 5th to 9th to 13th, and we were having good runs, but we just couldn't figure out what was going on. And a few weeks before the Olympics, Chris broke his scaphoid navicular in his hand. So that was probably, in a lot of ways, the best thing that could have happened to us because it took the pressure off of us. Before the games, we had a training camp in Park City, and it was 3 doubles teams. And we just worked with our teammates to try and figure out if it was the sled, if what was going wrong, who the culprit was. You mean the pressure was off
because he hurt himself?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we might not win, but hey, let's give it our best shot.
Exactly.
And let's figure out, right? So see, that's, right, the pressure, the anxiety.
Yeah.
If you can get that under control.
And we figured it out. It wasn't the sled. It was really just us and we were overdriving the sled.
Trying too hard.
Exactly.
Right.
We were just putting the sled right on line. So the video looked great. You know, our position was great. The video looked good. The runs looked fine. But we were not letting the sled run. Every time you drive a sled, you're creating a little friction and slowing it down.
Right.
So if you're too perfect, you're just
over-calculating,
over-anxious. So we got into a groove, and we went to the games, and then we were first or second every run in training. And on our the final training run, we put on our fast suit, and we were actually sandbagging. We're actually dropping our feet in the first few runs to slow down to not show our hand.
Right.
And
this
then
is like horse racing here.
Yeah.
We're holding back the horse.
Yeah.
Do you have any film? Go ahead and show it if you got it. What's that?
We have like a 3-second
clip. Go ahead, that's fine. It only takes 3 seconds. This thing's doing 90 miles an hour. That is insane.
Yep. There you go. I don't know where this is.
That is amazing.
So we call it the fastest sport on ice.
That is absolutely.
But
And you're not scared?
Yeah. You get used to it. You feel the.
So the 90 is my 90 is your 30?
You're looking for different things. You know how baseball players say they can see the seams?
Right.
It's the same kind of thing. They're looking for, you're not focused on the speed. You're focused on all these
You're comfortable with the speed.
Right.
You want speed.
So that clip was Zach and Lillehammer in 2019.
Great. Awesome.
Amazing. Local guy.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's related to any of the Di Gregorios from around here.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be. But
So,
there's quite a few from around
God,
here.
there's a lot of Massachusetts area luge athletes. In fact, our current president and an Olympian herself, Erin Warren, grew up in Somerville.
Wow. Who'd ever think you'd get a luge
Yeah.
person from the inner city, you know?
Ashley Walden, now formerly Ashley Hayden. She grew up in Westboro. So yeah, a lot of luge athletes from this area.
So you win the Olympics,
Yeah.
right? The pressure's off.
Yeah.
You're slowing yourself down because you're like, I don't know what's going on here, but
so we take our last run,
Yeah.
and we put on our fast suit, perfect run, fast start, and we were in 10th place. And it just proved to us that when we decided that was going to be the time when we go fast, and that's just the wrong mindset. And we were just trying to be too perfect, and it took us back. And
see, that's a skill, is to calm yourself down.
it took every ounce of ourselves.
If you're an actor,
yeah.
you're doing live play, right?
Right.
You're doing, and you mess up. You got the whole play to, come back and get comfortable, right? So you
Yeah.
start off and you're trying to remember your lines and what's the next line. And you go through, right? People make mistakes, but as you get more comfortable and the pressure's off, all of a sudden you don't have any more trouble, right?
It's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Like writer's cramp, these people that get paid to write, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they can't write.
Yeah.
Get the pressure off and say, and then all of a sudden,
It's getting to that state, though. It's finding, it was interesting that I would venture to guess that if we hadn't had that 10th place run, we might not have gotten a medal because we would have been in that other mindset.
Right.
We had to make that error
but you went
once.
to, hey, let's have some fun. Let's do
Right.
the best we can.
Yep.
I know you're hurt. I'm not bad about it.
Yep.
And let's give it, and you won.
Yeah, it was,
Were you shocked?
yeah. I mean,
That's better.
you knew-
That's better than winning under all other circumstances.
Yeah, you know the potential's there, but to actually have it all come together is just,
Were you the underdogs?
I wouldn't say we're the underdogs based on training.
Did people think you would win?
Yeah, I
First
think,
place?
No, we were second.
Second.
We were
Did
second.
people think you would win second?
Did people think we were we were definitely medal contenders.
Okay.
But anything can happen on a race day.
Absolutely.
Anything can happen.
Your partner's hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you can make the wrong decision in terms of sled preparation. There's a million things that
Could go wrong.
You can, have a bad start. You can, the sled takes a little direction. And it's time to the 1,000th of a second.
Right.
And the margin behind the Germans was 200ths of a second. So.
So did you know at some point?
I knew if I watch the video
Yeah.
of the Olympics, I can find you those 200ths of a second for sure.
That you knew you were going to win this thing, come in second.
Well, I look at it differently. I look at where I lost the 200ths of a second.
So you were looking for the imperfection.
Yeah.
You're looking to always self-improve. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that next time.
I remember that's human nature. I remember the little mistake that we made on the second run, minor mistake that was probably the difference in the 200ths.
So you're an Olympian. That's got to feel pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something that you're able to take with you for your entire life.
Ever.
And
You're an Olympian.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
And what do you do? So when you leave, what happens? I mean, there's clearly fans out there, right? There are people who watch the sport,
Yeah.
who are really into it worldwide.
Yeah, globally there are sort of different hotspots where people are very interested in luge. The Germans are luge fanatics. And then, you know, in the U.S., I think it's more about, as you said, being an Olympian. You know, I mean, there are definitely
That's
people.
like a big deal. Like an Olympian?
Yeah, thanks.
I have it all over my car, everywhere. Everything I would wear, I'd be walking around like those race car drivers at the Daytona with all that stuff all over
Like
them, like
this.
you. Yeah, but mine would say, I'm an Olympian, right? And so who is your hero in the business? I mean, is there somebody that you...
There were a lot of different athletes and teams that I admired for different reasons. You know, there was one athlete when I was a kid who I just thought was really cool, and you know, and that as I got older, I had different. I took bits and pieces of you know.
And that's who you were.
Yeah, and you know, I think.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah.
Oh,
of
you
course.
did?
Yeah.
Did you tell him, like, hey, I thought you were the coolest thing?
Yeah, of course.
around?
You know, it was. I always thought that, you know, some people say, oh, that person was. I didn't like that coach, and I never. There was something that I was able to take away from every coach, every person. You know, you gotta. I always like to be able to extract all the little pieces that I could out of every coach and athlete that, you know, that I possibly could get. So,
Did you ever coach?
a little bit, yeah. Yep. Now I'm in the marketing and sponsorship side of things, so I do like getting out to the track. It kind of reconnects me to the sport, and you know, coaching is a definite skill, and I don't know that I have it.
Yeah.
I've never developed it anyway.
Right. I mean, there are people that have never been on a sled that might be the best coaches in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's not your thing. That's not your lane.
It didn't really call me, and you know, I think when I stopped racing, I was ready to. I wanted to stay involved, but I don't think I wanted to go back out on the road. I spent a lot of time out at the luge track.
And when's the last time you were on?
Oh, 5 years maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No desire to...
Well, it's fun now, you know. You don't have to go from the top anymore.
No.
You go from a lower start,
Right.
and it's lots of fun. But even then, you know, you go from what we call the junior start, and it's still, you know, it's 55 miles an hour, but it feels like 90.
200.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because if your brain
So
isn't up to speed,
the thrill is still there.
oh, it's really fun.
978-534-1626. Just a couple of minutes left, and but don't forget this weekend, bring the kids up. Try to get the word out. We'll post it on Facebook as well. Bring the kids up. What time is it going to be? Is it all weekend or
Starting 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, free event. All you have to do is show up, and yeah, it's like I said, it's
free
a
event?
great-
Do you have to pay to use your? Do you pay to get in? You know, for a pass for the day?
I think they have like some kind of pass that
So it's
allows
like
people to.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really a great way to, you know, we use these plastic sort of recreational sleds, but it's still it's such a different position to be in. You know, laying down feet first and going down this little course that we build, and it's a good way to get some kind of an experience with the sport.
So obviously being an Olympian, you turned it into something.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
now still doing what you love to
Yeah.
do in a different capacity.
Yeah, so now it's all about finding, you know, companies to support USA Luge. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people think that we're supported by the government, or you know, we're not. We're one of the few Olympic governing bodies, the United States, that does not get government support. So it's really incumbent upon me to go out and find those companies who want to work with us. So
it looks like you've been successful. You have all pretty big names on there.
Yeah,
right?
we've got some great sponsors. We're very lucky. We've got Norton St. Gobain local. They're our big primary sponsor.
Wow, that's awesome.
They've been with us for over 40 years, believe it or not.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, you know, we have our partnership with them is awesome, and they're the ones who are putting on the event up at Wachusett this weekend.
Oh,
So
that's tremendous.
yeah.
Well, good for you. And so, like when you go back home where you went to high school, it's got to be a big deal. Do they call you and say, "Hey, can you come to the school and talk to kids?"
I did that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, But, you know, with my friends at home, I'm just another, you know, one of their idiot
That's
friends.
true. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, no big deal. I know him. It's not a big deal. It proves we're all just people, right?
Exactly.
But to other people, it's a big deal, right?
Right.
They're like, I wish I could have done that, or wish I could have won. I wish I could have made it to the finals, right? And so it's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's nice. You know, it's funny. Like Lake Placid is a town where, you know, you can't walk down the street without running into someone who competed in the Olympics. Right. You know, it's kind of like Hollywood. Hollywood is, right. Or Washington. It's kind of like a one-horse town. You know, or one-show town. So you know, being an Olympian in Lake Placid is no big deal.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So.
But it's a big deal to anybody because they know the level of commitment. So while other kids are doing things at 17 and 18, this is it. This is your function.
Yeah.
This is your full-time gig.
It's an interesting life, that's for sure.
Right. And you glad you did it?
Oh, I wouldn't trade it in for anything.
Then you got your chance to stand on the
yeah.
That's got to be the best.
That was something you dream of, and then all of a sudden it's happening to you. It was pretty crazy, you know. And just honestly, just being, like to your point, you said being an Olympian, walking in the Parade of Nations, right. I almost fell over in my first Olympics when I realized that I was a part of that.
You're it. All of a sudden it hits you.
All of a sudden,
the emotion.
Here it is. I'm here.
Powerful.
And I literally, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to faint. Couldn't believe it.
And let's talk about your sport for the last minute
Sure.
or so, because let's face it, there are other countries that are masterful when it comes to this particular sport.
Yeah,
and here's the United States. Here's you representing the United States.
It's a war out there in terms of, you know, trying to have the best athlete, the fastest sled, the fastest start. So yeah, I mean, it's a constant push, and you know, you're really trying to fight for every 10th, 100th, and 1,000th of a second.
Wow. Anyway, thank you very much. That was excellent.
Thanks,
that was
Dean.
fun. I learned a lot, and hope everyone enjoyed it. Don't forget this weekend, this Saturday, 10 o'clock up at Mount Wachusett. Go out and stop and say, Gordy, I saw you, and I'm here to, you know, can you sign this for me? And, you know, that kind of thing. But you never know. You never know. Parents might be out there and thinking, you know, and you're out there, and Gordy's got this sharp and keen eye of what he's looking for. Future Olympians. He knows what he's looking for, right, in terms of
Absolutely.
competition. Hang in there. Just you may as well stay.
Okay.
No, I might need you. Hang in there. Let's see. It's World Kidney Day. It's Popcorn Lovers Day. It's Paper Money Day, National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. It's National Ranch Day, National Pack Your Lunch Day, National Blueberry Popover Day.
Now, ranch, is that ranch dressing? Or?
I don't know. It's not, I think it might be like the ranch down where George Bush, the farmer, is pulling brush. I think that's what it might be. National Blueberry Popover Day. That one I got. National Landline Telephone Day. Name Tag Day, Mario Day, International Day of Awesomeness. It's International Bagpipe Day. It's Histotechnological Professionals Day. They even got a day. I don't get a day. I didn't even won. I've been doing this show 29 years. You think we won an award of any kind ever? This is the non-award winning Inside Leominster. And Harriet Tubin Day. 71,000 people went out and got themselves tested. I guess there we go. 71,000 people went out and got themselves tested yesterday. 775 tested positive, less than 1%. 98 tested positive in Worcester County. We're at 59 over the last 2 weeks. 28 deaths, one is too many. Hospitalizations at 291. 46 in intensive care, and intubated is 23. Vaccine clinics coming up this weekend at Fallbrook School. 12th, 19th, 26th, 10th. I'm sorry, 12th, 19th, 26th, 10 to 3:30. City is hosting that vaccine clinic for ages 5 and up. This is for Pfizer vaccine only. The clinic will run 4 consecutive Saturdays. This is the second. Pfizer first dose, second dose, and booster shots for people 12 plus years old. People aged 18 and older can get any vaccine they want. You can follow the police station project progress by going to LeominsterPoliceStationProject.com and follow everything that's going on with our rail trail at TwinCitiesTrail.com. Coming up, the world famous pizza crawl. This is sort of like an Olympic event around here. And it starts March 20th, but tickets go on sale Monday. So pizza crawl tickets the 14th. Pizza places have until Friday, March 11th to sign up. They got one more day, and the cost of a ticket determined by how many pizza places participate. So there you go. Oh man, it was fun. We do this pizza crawl, but man, you gotta pace yourself. The softer side, is that Crystal on? All right, ask her to hang on. So the softer side of Celtic coming up this weekend. The concert performance with Jeff Snow this Sunday the 13th at 2 o'clock in the community room at the Leominster Public Library, free and open to the public. No registration is required. And it's presented by them in memorial of Jack Hanley and his mother, Mary Hanley. So there we are for this weekend. Pictures of the week. I have no clue what's on here, so here we go, Gordy. There we go. This is our new police station. Almost ready for steel. 2 weeks the steel will be in, I'm told. This building's so big, they've been pouring concrete for 2 months. Literally.
Wow.
But coming along, they worked through the winter. Luckily, we're on the south side of town, but also on the south-facing south. So that's good. That helps with, I don't know if the ground ever froze around there. They just kept working through the winter, so it was excellent. MONOOSNOC BROOK on the final design. That's going to look a whole lot different when that's done. I'll tell you, it's going to be a beautiful thing downtown. And Mechanic Street Park with fresh snow looked nothing better than that. People use that park all of the time. We weren't sure. Next year, we plan to have some winter activities there. But this year, it's weird because the winters now they fluctuate. So it gets real cold, then
up and
warm,
down.
then warm, and then cold, and then thaw, and we got snow, and then it melts. And anyway, but look at that. Huh? Nothing looks any better than these parks. Huh?
Beautiful.
Carter Park, and beautiful morning here, and fresh snow at Carter Park. Take a good look at it because it could be a while before you see snow again. But I said that last week.
It's not over.
Boy, the wind. We have to be breaking some sort of record for wind because it's been so windy. This past year, winds, I don't know. That's what it seems to. I'm going to go to the National Weather Service and see if there's some sort of data that says it was a windy. Yeah, like 2015 was a snowy year here. We had the most snow probably ever. But nobody talks about the wind. It's not given the credence it should be, but you can't mess with it.
Yeah, we had a really windy winter in Lake Placid as well.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, trees just like this.
I got to come up to Lake Placid. I really do.
Gorgeous.
I hear so much about it. I Google it, look at the pictures and everything, and that's one area I'd like to.
Anytime.
That and Saratoga, two places.
Come up in the summer. You can go in August, go to the horse racing, and then come on up and check out Lake Placid.
How close are they?
About an hour.
Oh, that's nothing around here. That's
close.
Nothing. So anyway, we had the wind down, took the lines down on Grove Ave, but DPW, all the public utilities were out there and had that thing going in no time at all. And we gave the Joseph Owen received the Ryan Quasi King Scholarship Award, which is given every year. Quite an honor, and Joe was surprised and pleased. And we had a fantastic art at the art show, and we had a ball last week. And we'll get to show more of the art this week. Connor Bolak received the T. Miller Award, Sportsmanship Award. Again, surprised, but I think anybody else that he played with and coaches alike would agree that this award should have went to him. So we thank everybody for that. And then we did the raising of the Ukrainian flag. It's 100% nylon. Greg Suet donated that to us. And we thank him for that. That's U.S. made. And we had a nice little crowd there that day. And it's a Throwback Thursday. There I am. Look at it. I want to let everybody know that after 29 years, I finally cleaned my desk. It's finally managed. 29 years. The piles, and I've gone through, I'm almost there. I'm like 95% there. If I can get another couple good days, I don't even have a desk anymore, but everything is like in action. You know, everything is like in progress. Well, I've been able to move enough to the
The
to the finish
done
list,
pile.
you know, to the finish pile. The size of that computer, huh? There we go, Throwback Thursday. Left to right, Frankie Bengrazi, retired from the Leominster Police. Out in the back, Tucker Hazard, Robert E. Nolan, all cops to the left. There's my buddy Ace Armstrong, and myself to the right, wearing a very fashionable tie. And another Throwback Thursday. There is the Charpentier brothers, and that's Lionel Charpentier to the left. That's Louis Charpentier on the right and me on the right. Who stole my youth, by the way, Carl? Where's my youth? I want it back. Is it retroactive? Can I get it back? And there we are for the week. There you go. Well, thanks for coming on. That was fun.
Thank you for having me, Dean.
I want
I
you to
really
have a good
appreciate
weekend up there, and I hope you get a lot of kids. And you never know, right, at these events, who you're going to see. And I know it's fun, and you do it to promote it, but you also never know who you're going to come across.
Yeah, kids, adults, come on out. Come on up to Wachusett, starting at 10, Saturday and Sunday.
And we thank Norton and all your sponsors.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal for them to continue to
we just announced a 4-year extension of our partnership to the 2026 Olympics.
So this is the dream of dreams. You got to do something that you like to do. You got to compete in it. You got to be an Olympian. And then you got to continue to work in the same area that, I mean,
I'm pretty lucky.
This is like hitting megabucks 3 times.
I'm very lucky.
Right. Well, good for you.
Thank you, Dean. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll make sure we post this on Facebook. And thanks to our sponsors. We've got quite a few sponsors out there. If you'd like to sponsor our show, it costs a little bit of money, but, you know, and overall for your dollar spending, it's pretty good. So we thank all of our sponsors and everybody here at LTV. All right, we're out of time here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You need to show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank, create success, enterprisebanking.com.
This is LTV.